Start with regression chapter. Okay, it's the last part of your of one unit, and also very important, regression. We had just studied the two types of correlation in the previous two classes. We had studied Karl Pearson correlation and we had studied Spearman rank correlation. Now we are going to study a entire different gamut that is known as regression model. Now, what exactly is a regression model? See, in correlation, what was happening? Correlation, we were able to predict that whether there is any relationship between the two variables or not. Just that much. We are able to predict whether they are correlated or not. But how much? The value? That we do not know. And that is possible only because of regression. So regression is the measure of average relationship between two or more variables in the terms of original units of data. Okay, so regression analysis is a statistical is a statistical tool in order to study the nature and extent of functional relationship between two or more variables, and we are also predicting, or you can say estimating, the unknown values of dependent variable from the known values of independent variable. Now, what is our independent variable? Rainfall. Unknown is production. Production is depending on rainfall. Suppose we can forecast that tomorrow, this season, we will get this much quantum of rainfall. So based upon the forecasting, we can also predict what would be the production. So estimation, the demand, everything is possible because of regression. Now, what is a dependent variable, or else known as explained variable? The variable which is predicted on the basis of another variable is called dependent variable. Now, dependent variable always, normally we denote it by the term y. We will form a equation, regression equation. So just remember, wherever you will be having dependent variable, that will be denoted by y. Independent variable or explanatory variable, which is used to predict another variable, is called independent variable, and it is denoted by the letter X. Okay, clear this much? See, in order to predict, in order to estimate, in order to understand what is the degree, what is the relationship value between the two variables, we are going to use regression model. Clear about the introduction of regression? Any doubt in that?
No, ma'am. Clear.
Okay. What is the difference between correlation and regression? Very, very important. Correlation measures degree and direction of the relationship. We were discussing about whether it is a positive one or negative one or zero correlation. So basically we were trying to discuss the degree and direction. But in regression, we are estimating or we are measuring the nature and extent of average relationship between two or more variables in terms of the original units of data. Basically, we are trying to calculate, mathematically find out the value. Now, it's a relative measure which shows association between variables, but regression is an absolute measure of relationship. In correlation, it is independent of change of both origin and scale. Okay, now new syllabus have been uploaded. The syllabus, the pattern are changed. For you people are lucky that you will be getting long questions, but your juniors would be getting 1 mark questions. So these are very, very important, and those who are preparing NET, these are the type of questions they will ask, which is independent of both origin and scale, correlation coefficient or regression coefficient or variance. So they'll give you confusing questions. Regression coefficient is independent of change of origin, but not of scale. Okay, this is the difference between correlation and regression. Now, correlation coefficient is independent of units of measurement. But regression coefficient is not independent of units of measurement. Another difference. Now here we can estimate the values range between -1 to +1. But here we will get values, we will form equations like this. We will be forming simultaneous equations depending upon the number of variables. Here we have just one independent variable, and here we have two independent variables. Whether a forecasting device, see, correlation, we cannot forecast anything, but in regression we can forecast. So regression can be used as a forecasting device. There may be nonsense correlations such as weight of girls and income of boys. We can find a relation between them, right? But in regression, if there is nothing like nonsense regression, like any abstract thing, we cannot find out any regression. In correlation, we can find a value between two abstract things. It's just predicting whether there is a relationship or not and how much. But in case of regression, that is not possible because we are predicting the future. We are forecasting. So again, it is not possible. So these are the important points from net point of view, and these are the important points from your exam point of view, because it can come as a 8-mark question or as a 4-mark question or as a long question, half part of a long question. Okay. Now, properties of linear equation. What are the properties of linear equation? There should be two regression equations always. Okay. Now, what are the two regression equations? First will be your regression equation of x on y on x. Another will be x on y. So you people can jot down the formulas as and when you are getting any formulas, because ahead you will be doing a problem, solving a problem. Okay. First, gone that there are two regression equations. Next will be byx and bxy are regression coefficients of y on x. Suppose it is written yx, so it is a regression coefficient on y on x. And if it is x on y, then it will be bxy. So in case there are some questions where covariance value would be given to you, standard deviation value will be given to you, and you would be asked to find out byx. So you have to just apply this formula. Okay. In net or in short questions, these questions can come. Now, what is the product of regression coefficient? Always remember, the product of two regression coefficients means byx and bxy is always equal to the square of correlation coefficient. Just remember this point. Byx into bxy is equal to r square. It is mandatory. Now, signs of regression coefficient and correlation coefficient. Okay. Now, see, byx and bxy all will have the same sign. If the correlation coefficient is 0, the regression coefficients are also 0. Understood? See here, r square, if it will be 0, then what will happen? If r will be 0, r square will be 0. If this is 0, then by default byx and bxy will be 0. Intersection at means, the regression lines always intersect at their means. Very, very important point. Where do they intersect? Always intersect at their means. The slopes of regression line of y on x and regression line of x and y are respectively byx and bxy, that we discussed. Some other properties of regression coefficient. See, both will have the same sign. Either it will be positive or they will be negative. Byx and bxy. Either they will be positive or they will be negative. Both cannot be greater than 1. If one regression or coefficient is greater than unity, then definitely the other one will be less than unity. Both parallelly cannot be greater than 1. This we studied. Regression coefficient are independent of origin but not of scale. Now, when we see arithmetic mean, always remember, if a data series is given to you and you are asked to find out the arithmetic mean of regression coefficients, it is always greater than correlation coefficient. Remember this. R is geometric mean. That means what? Correlation coefficient is the geometric mean between the regression coefficients. Suppose we will find out the regression coefficient of byx and bxy, then definitely the geometric mean, correlation coefficient geometric mean will be those two values. And r, bxy and byx have same sign. See, the coefficient of correlation will have the same sign as that of regression coefficient. If r will be positive, regression coefficients will be positive. If regression coefficients will be negative, then r will also be negative. Okay, so see, all three will have the same sign, r, byx and bxy. And in between bxy and byx, one can be greater than 1, but the other will be definitely less than 1. It is independent of origin but not of scale. And arithmetic mean of regression coefficients is greater than correlation coefficient. See, questions can come like this. What are the properties of regression coefficient? And for net, those who are preparing for net, you will get 1 mark questions. Okay, clear all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Why I'm using net always? Because once you complete your PG and if you are interested for teaching job, then you should go for applying of net. Okay, for further research. Now, this is a question. These are the question sub points. Find out 2 regression equations. Estimate the likely sales when advertising expenditure is 7 lakhs. And what should be the advertising expenditure if the firm wants to attain sales target of rupees 80 lakhs? So in question number B, they have given advertising expenditure is 7 lakhs. So what would be the sales? In question number C, they have given if sales is 80 lakhs, then what should be the advertising expenditure? And calculate coefficient of correlation. So these are the points which we are going to do in a particular question. Write the question, please, all of you. Column wise, right? Okay, that would be easy for you.
Yes, ma'am. Completed.
Okay, okay. Write the points, okay. I'm changing this. Write this. Find 2 regression equations. Write the question. Estimate the likely sales when advertising expenditure is 7 lakhs. Next, you have to predict the advertising expenditure if the firm wants to achieve a sales target of 80 lakhs and calculate coefficient of correlation. So this is a question that you have to write and you have to solve it right now. All of you wrote the question?
Yes, ma'am. Over.
Okay. Okay. We'll wait for others to complete. Fine. Let's try to solve this question. As I said, you have to write in column wise. Okay. We have to write it in column wise. So write like okay. I'll do the problem. You people try to solve it with me. Parallelly. Screen, white screen. Yes. So there are two columns. One is X column, another is Y column. Okay. The values are 1, 10, 2, 20, 3, 30, 4, 50, 5, it will be 40. Now we are supposed to find two equations. See, we will first find out regression equation on X on Y. Okay. What is X? X is a dependent variable or independent variable? What you are finding? X is your dependent variable or independent variable?
Ma'am, dependent
Independent.
variable.
X is your independent variable.
Yes, ma'am.
So see, any regression equation, you can solve it in both the ways. Either you can find out Y on X or X on Y. Whatever, your choice. It should be mentioned in the question. Here I have said that we will find out on X on Y. We will do both the things, but we will find out X on Y. So let's start with X on Y. Now if we start from X on Y, so X small c, this is slope actually, a plus b y. So based on this, we will find out the equation. So your first equation will be summation x equals to n a plus b summation y, and your second one will be summation xy is equal to a summation y plus b summation y square. Okay, square, I don't know how to write here. Gone. Square. Just a minute, give me one more time. So there will be two equations. There would be two equations. First, we will find out regression equation on X on Y. If we find out on X on Y, so X slope, this will be our normal equation. X slope is equal to A plus BY. Based on this, we will be finding out our two equations. Okay, X will be summation X equals to NA, see I just added one N plus B summation Y. And what will be my second equation? I just multiplied a y here. Summation x is y. This is y equals to A is there in the original equation. A summation y plus B summation y square. So what are the values you require? You require the total n. You require total value of x. You require total value of y. You require xy. You require y square. Okay. So as I said, you have to rewrite the data like this. This is x-axis 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is y-axis 10, 20, 30, 40, 15. So what you require y square. Okay. Let's find out x
Ma'am,
square.
after 30 there is 50.
Yes, this is 50, then 40, right?
Yes.
Okay. You require to find x square, you require to find y square, you are supposed to find x and y. So this will be 1, 4. All of you parallelly solve with me. 9, 16, and 25. This will be 100, 400, 900, 2500, and 1600. Similarly, xy 1 into 10, 10, 2 into 20, 40, 3 into 30, 90, 50 into 4, 200, 40 into 5, 200, right? Find the total.
Yes, ma'am.
Find the total. 5 plus 4, 9, 12. Quickly, all of you find the total. Let me see who is doing fast, you or me. Similarly, we will find the total for x square. We will be finding the total for y square. And I will be finding the value for xy. Did I do any mistake somewhere? Any mistakes in calculation did I do? Just check it, cross check. Completed or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now apply. Apply the values here. In both the equation, you have submission x. Submission x is 15. Equals to n. What is n? Total number of items, or 5 you can say. A we don't know, we have to find out the value of A, plus B we don't know, summation y 150. Y 150 B. This is your equation number 3 or equation 1, whatever you can name. Next is summation xy. What is the value of x is y? 540. A summation y. A we don't know. Summation y is 150. 150A. Plus B summation y square. What is y square? 5500. 5500B. Guys, do you remember how to solve simultaneous equation? We have to make either this value or this value equal to that of this value and this value. So this is 5, this is 150. I think if we convert this one into 150, our problem will be solved. Now, if I want this 5a to be 150, then what will I do? I have to multiply 30.
30.
Okay, so 3 into 30. So now your new equation will be, let me write like this, 150a plus 150 into 30. That comes to your 4500. 4500B equals to 15 into 30. So that is your 450. This is your equation number 5. And same thing. This will be 150A plus 5500B equals to 540. Now what will you do? This is your equation 4. Now in simultaneous equation, the sign can be changed. This is plus sign, so we can put minus. This is plus, so we can put minus. And this one is plus, so we can put minus. So plus 50 minus 150. It will be cut. So what is left? B 1000, right? 1000 or 100? 1000.
1050.
Yeah. 1000B equals to 90 minus 90. So just cut. Okay. Now what will be the B value? 9 divided by 100.
95.
So B value will be
0.09.
0.09. Now can you find out A value? Just substitute this value in any of the equation. You can substitute it here. You can substitute, no, only in this equation because it will be small. Substitute it, please. Okay, so let me substitute for you. 15, change the color. 15 equals to 5 into, no, 5A plus 150 into 0.09. So that will come around rough 13.5. Right? Now 5A, if I bring this 13.5 this side, so what it will be? Minus 15 minus 13.5, that will be 1.5. So 5A will be 1.5. What will be your A? A will be 1.5 divided by 5. That will be 0.3. समझ में आया? Yes, Muskan, correct. Subhajit, correct. Okay. Akanksha, Lipsa, Manisha, are
Yes,
you
ma'am.
able to solve?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Adarsh, I didn't get any reply. Okay, okay, got it. Fine. So what will be your what was your original equation? This was your original equation, right? So now just frame it. X C is equal to A value is 0.3 plus B summation Y 0.09 Y. Now just see bit number 3. Question number 3. What was asked to you? Can someone read question number 3? What
Yes,
will be
ma'am.
the please read the question.
What should be the advertising expenses if the firm wants to attain the sales target of rupees 8 lakh?
Okay, 80 lakhs. Okay, now
80
this
lakhs.
sales, yes, sales is what? Here. Sales is a dependent variable.
Dependent variable.
Advertising expenditure is independent variable. That is why we found out regression equation on X on Y. Just apply the value here. We are predicting. अगर हमारा सेल्स हमको 80 लाख चाहिए तो हम एडवर्टाइजिंग में कितना खर्च कर सकते हैं? So what will be the answer? 0.3 plus 0.09 into 80. एक वैल्यू आएगा. That will be the answer. The answer will be around 7.5 lakhs. So if you want to have achieve the sales target of 80 lakhs, then your advertising expenditure should be 7.5 lakhs. समझ में आया?
Yes, ma'am.
Now if you see B question, they had asked what was the advertising expenditure price?
7 lakhs.
Okay. Now in question number B, if you see, they have said if your advertising expenditure is 7 lakhs, then what will be your sales? So what you will going to find out here? You will find regression equation on Y on X. Now what will be the equations now for you? Y is equal to A plus Bx. So what would be the two equations here? Summation Y equals to NA plus B summation X. And another will be summation XY is equal to A summation X plus B summation X square. Understood? In which context we are taking independent variable on dependent variable, and in which context we are taking dependent variable on independent variable. Did you understand the context?
Yes, ma'am.
All of you, kahan pe doubt ho raha hai? I know you people are very silent today. Where you people are facing doubt? Please ask me.
No doubt, ma'am.
ओके आप लोग बाद में प्रैक्टिस करके हमको पूछिएगा. ठीक है, देखो see, you can now better understand. There are two regression equations, एक है x on y. This will be for your question number C. Another will be on y on x. This will be for B. What was your first bit? Find the two regression equations. So we have to solve both of these and we have to find out this value. So that will be our first answer. Third one I show you. Second one you people have to do. Can you do it or not? See, second one also I have did. These are the two equations. I applied the value. Okay. And substituting the value in order to get, in order to spend 7 lakhs advertising expenditure, what should be my targeted sales? My targeted sales should be 60 lakhs sales. Okay. For 7 lakhs advertising expenditure. Now, in order to find out coefficient of correlation, I will find out BXY and BYX. This is Y on X value, Y on X, BYX. The value is 9. And this is BXY. The value is, how I knew that it is X on Y, because my equation is regression equation on X on Y, 0.9, 0.09. So I got the value coefficient of correlation as 0.9, which is successful because coefficient of correlation, the values must be within -1 to +1. Getting it or not? समझ में आ रहा है? पूछिए मेरे को, कहाँ पे डाउट है? Please don't keep silent. No one is going to help you later.
Clear, ma'am.
Okay. So what you people can do after this, links will be shared. This is a recorded version. Just try to solve the entire question once by yourself today itself. Any doubts you can ask me tomorrow in the class.
मैम जो इक्वेशन में जो 9 लिखा गया है बी के जगह पे, वो 9 है या 0.09 है?
कहाँ पे? इधर बी इक्वेशन में और दिस?
नो मैम, सब्स्टिट्यूट फर्स्ट वन, सेकंड लाइन, सिग्मा y इक्वल्स टू na प्लस b सिग्मा x. तो सिग्मा x का वैल्यू है 15.
हाँ 15 ना, सी हियर.
और b का वैल्यू?
b का वैल्यू तो हमको निकालना है. Our purpose is to find out
वहाँ पे ना, अच्छा वो निकाल के लिखे हैं 9.
मैं निकाली कहाँ हूँ? हाँ इधर इस तरफ तो.
हाँ,
I found na here. I found the value of 9 here. B.
Okay.
And I just substituted. Submission X is 15.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other doubts?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am. Clear.
Okay. Subhajit, what about you? You can write in chat, no problem.
No, ma'am. Clear.
Okay. Manisha?
Yes, ma'am.
Please, all of you do it today itself because again you will face problem. Akanksha, clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So thank you, and we will meet. Just a minute. Be there.